Welcome to this Tableau Online mini course. We're going to cover a lot of things when it comes to Tableau Online. That is going to include what it is, how it differs from the old school way of distributing information. We're going to be talking about the pricing, the licensing, site setup. We're going to talk about dashboard development, how to deploy your solutions, how to manage your data, how to automate your data, how to actually design it for consumption. We're going to talk about published data sources. And then finally, we're going to talk about consumption from the perspective of explorers and viewers. So let's go. All right, guys, here we are. We're going to get started. But before we do, I should just mention that this is not going to be a super ultra detailed course on Tableau Online, simply because it's way too much to teach on YouTube. So if you want to get into the really nitty gritty, step-by-step details, data sources, site setup, cloud manager, all the really high detail stuff, check out my website on Jellyman Education. There's links in the description below, and you'll come to my site here, right, where I teach a whole bunch of stuff. And on the site, you're going to find a Tableau Online course. This is one I've been working on recently, and this thing goes into ultra detail for Tableau Online. So if you want to see step-by-step how to build the site, how to manage it, how to set up the servers, you want to know how to do all the designing, every single button on Tableau Online, I'm covering everything. So be sure to check that out. So let's now move on with the actual first lecture. All right, so let's talk about what Tableau Online actually is. So if you've used Tableau Desktop, you'll understand that that's the tool that we use to build the visualization. But part of the environment of Tableau itself is the consumption by the audience, right? So back in the day, someone will be working on some sort of Excel file, and I've got a super detailed visualization here, okay? And here's how it roughly will work. So someone, we're talking about if it's just Microsoft Excel. So the designer will go, well, I need to find some data somewhere. They'll take that. They're going to build a whole bunch of charts. They'll put a local file in their system. More often than not, they won't label it correctly. So you won't know who made it unless it's just kind of a known thing in the company. But that file could be passed around numerous times. So there's not really any version control or nothing robust enough. So they'll build a solution, and then that solution will be distributed to multiple people in a variety of stages. So one could be the CEO, one could be another analyst that processes it further, and then that gets distributed again, and then someone else is using it for something else. And the problem with this in this situation is that there's no version control. So this person could have data from 2 days ago. This person can have today's data. And so the arguments that happen that I see, or the kind of the sore spots in the industry, is when someone goes, no, the number is 10 million, and the other person saying, no, it's 12. So you spend more time just trying to figure out what the truth is, rather than going, okay, we're all looking at the same solution here. The other thing is, when you're the designer and you build some sort of solution, it takes a lot of time and effort to actually circulate it, manage it, ask questions, and get these people to actually collaborate with each other. Because a lot of the time, it's just you with them sending information back and forth. So it's very hard to just, in a controlled fashion, distribute that. And this is where Tableau Online really helps. So let me do a demo of it. I'm going to jump over to Tableau Online. You can see it in action. All right, here we are in Tableau Online. And the way to really understand Tableau Online is this. So in an organization, let me bring up my awesome design. In an organization, everyone wants to consume the information, but if you just have all these Excel files floating around, it's really hard to find what you need. So think of Tableau Online like a marketplace, right? So when you go and do your groceries, or you go to the fish market, or any kind of market, they put all the fruits, all the veggies, all the meats, whatever, in this one building. So everyone that needs to get food, they go to that same place. So Tableau Online is like that marketplace. So you have all these designers will build solutions, right? So I've got one right here. Let's say I've got a Tableau dashboard, something I've designed. I can deploy the solution, or I can publish it to this Tableau Online site. Now I'm going to go here to explore, and we're going to go through a lot of this in the rest of the course. But this dashboard that I have here, I can publish to Tableau Online. Now, what happens is you have all these consumers, right? And this could be CEO, it could be your colleagues. They will log into this Tableau Online site and they can all access your visualizations. And when they open it up, we're all looking at the same thing. So it's not like one person saying, well, the final number is 990 and someone saying it's 1200. You simply go to the dashboard, what's the number? And we can all agree on the same number. And this is the beauty of Tableau Online. Then you'll have other situations as well where, say, I'm a stakeholder coming in and I'm new to the company. Okay, so someone goes to me, listen, familiarize yourself with some of the data that's already been published. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go, wow, this is interesting. Who made it? Right? So if I go one back and I look at this dashboard, there's already inbuilt details about the dashboard. There's traceability. So you can see my name up there, Jed Guinto. If I hit this info button, you can have descriptions of what the dashboard is, the location. You can go into what the data sources are that feed the dashboard, whether it's going to be a local file or it can be connected to a cloud server, and then it'll have details where the server is, what the tables are in those servers. You can have all sorts of things when it comes to actually tracking the file that you can't do with Microsoft Excel, right? Where files are just shooting around. So as, for example, an administrator, someone who's managing the site, it's very easy to see, okay, who's making the most dashboards, which ones are failing, which ones are being used the most, are they being put in the right locations? You can't do that when Excel is just floating around, right? And just flying everywhere. Plus, you've got the security concern. With Tableau Online, I can do permissions on who can see what. Can they delete things? Can they access certain bits of data? Can they view the data? Can they view certain folders? So in terms of managing the capabilities of the site, it can be built in. So I don't have to go to someone and say, hey, don't send that Excel file out. Because once it's out, it's out. That's it. So in terms of ease of distribution, governance, right, controlling the versions, deploying solutions, having everyone looking at a single source of truth, this is where Tableau Online really shines. So we're going to leave it there for this first video. Hopefully this gives you a rough idea of just how Tableau Online fits in with Tableau Desktop. And in the upcoming videos, we're going to talk about like pricing and site creation and heaps of wonderful things. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.